So if I was agender and I shaved my privates, does that mean I would just have this empty space there?
Race car spelled backwards is still race car. This is the Race Car Spelled Backwards podcast. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Brad, and with me, as always, is Jamie, and this is the Race Car Spelled Backwards podcast. Jamie, how the heck are you doing, my friend?
Awkward silence. It's been one hell of a day.
I mean, it has been.
Wow. I've had nuts call me up screaming.
Coffee?
And then they realized they had a wrong number. I was like, hold it, you're calling. Is this about an air conditioner? And they said no.
I hate when I get cussed out and it's not even
related to work.
You're not even getting paid for it.
Yeah.
That's one thing when you get cussed out at work and you're getting paid to be cussed out, but it's another thing when you're getting cussed out and you're not getting paid. But that's why I like guys who don't buy equipment from me, don't call me cussing me.
Yeah, that happened to you, didn't it?
Yeah. It's happened quite a bit over my career.
That's true. Me too.
I mean, we're in an industry where it just happens. And it is what it is, really. I'm sure other industries are like it too.
Well, yeah, we're kind of like a psychiatrist.
That's what I used to think when I worked the counter inside a store. It reminded me of this is what a hair salon would be like for women.
Pretty much.
Because, I mean, we had guys that would come in, sit down at the counter, and it's like they just needed to get it off their chest. And they'd tell you about this big fight or whatever's going on personal. And a lot of times you're like, okay, I'm just going to listen here.
You know what's great, though? They let it out for 5 minutes, and you go, I'm sorry that happened to you. What can we do to fix it? And all of a sudden, it's like classical music with the wild beast. They're all of a sudden, okay, this is what we need to do. They all of a sudden go from screaming like crazy to, oh, okay.
Well, they don't know how to react. And I think that's just because...
Well, we're solution providers, though. I mean...
Well, I think human nature is initially to get mad, right? So we took last week off. I took my wife, kids. We all went down to Universal Studios and went to the beach. But, customer service post-COVID it's ruined the Universal experience, in my opinion. I experienced it pre-COVID, but, we had some things happen on our trip, and my initial reaction was to get mad. So we upgraded our tickets to express passes for Sunday. Well, the guy who upgraded them, he put Saturday on the tickets, so we got to park Sunday with our express passes, and we couldn't even use them because it was the wrong day. Granted, they fixed all of it at the park. They fixed it, but my initial reaction was mad. I got mad. But we went and rode a ride, actually. We found out in line, so I had time to calm down. And I guess part of me, once I realized they were fixing it, I completely calmed down. And it was the lady, like you said, these people call us screaming, and then we let them get it out. And then we just, then we come up with a solution. I mean, that's our job. We provide solutions. So we come up with a solution, and it's like they instantly calm down.
Yeah.
So
and then we say, hey, will that work for you? Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, but like I said, I saw it personal experience at Universal Studios. We're standing there in the customer service line. We would much rather be on rides right now, but instead we're having to get this problem fixed because this guy put in the wrong date on our tickets. And instantly she said, well, give me a second. It's going to take a few minutes, but I can get this handled. As soon as she said she had it handled, I felt better. Because my first initial fear is they're not gonna believe me. They're gonna think I'm trying to lie to them or something, and they're not gonna want to get my tickets fixed. So I'm like, all right, we're out.
I'm sure they could see though. You never scanned Saturday.
No, she saw every.
They had a record.
So luckily for us, we did stay at a Universal resort. So every keystroke that was made towards our account basically showed up on her computer. So she was able to fix it like it was no big deal. I mean, it took a minute,
So it was like how Disney used to be?
The service overall was not great. Like, I was in line at this restaurant to get some food, and I was next in line, and the lady that worked there come over, and she's like, "Hey, if you don't have a table number already, they're not going to know where to bring your food. So you have to go get a table number." So I got out of line to go get a table number, and the three people behind me, or three couples, I was by myself. So the three groups behind me, she went and got a number for them. But for me, I had to go get my own number. And then I had to go to the back of the line. So I was pretty frustrated. So she come out and said something. And I said, maybe somebody should be standing back at the door letting people know they need a table number when they walk in instead of right before they place their order. And she went to say something else to me, and she might have, but at that point I was mad. I said, you know what, on better thought, maybe you should just quit. And that was all I said.
Like quit her job?
Yes.
Well, okay.
And
works.
So she came over and apologized to me, and I'll be honest, I apologized to her too. I felt bad out of anger. I said all that, but she apologized to me, which that made me instantly feel bad for telling her she should quit her job. And then she's like, I've been here, me and my sister, well, my husband died, me and my sister moved down here.
Oh, jeez.
But her and her sister have been working there for, I think she says 6 years.
Was she 80 years old?
She was an elderly lady.
Oh, okay.
But her and her sister.
She was an ARPer?
There. ARPer?
ARPer?
What's that?
American Retired People of America or something?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And she was living in Florida. But she told me the whole park is about 60% staffed right now. That's a problem.
Seems to be the case everywhere right now, though.
But
they're
60% staffed with 100% capacity. Like, that sounds like I'm the one getting gypped.
Well, you are. I mean, they're not pulling out the trash at Disney right now. It's getting overflowed. It used to be you could eat off the ground at Disney. Now it's just like every other park. So why pay a premium?
I think,
and I'm not being a DeSantis here.
No,
I like Disney, regardless of who's suing who.
Same with Universal, though. Like, the only reason I have an issue with Universal is because I've been to Universal pre-COVID, when it was 100% staffed. Everybody was smiling. I mean, you didn't pass an employee back in the day without them smiling at you at a minimum, but you couldn't get away from them. There was somebody everywhere. And I mean that in a good way. Like, the service was awesome. Now it's just, it looks empty on the employee front. So, I mean, you got like one guy working a long line restaurant, instead of having 5. They have all these aisles to place your order at, and only 1 or 2 open. Now, I guess this is shoulder season. I don't know.
You would think it is, yeah, because spring break's over and we're waiting for summer now.
I couldn't imagine if it would have been any more crowded, what the service would have been like. Now, we had a great time. The service sucks everywhere, but we had a great time. Orlando, 0 service in the whole city. I mean, we went to Outback. We sat there for like an hour and a half before we finally got our food. We went to downtown Disney, but that's or Disney Discovery or Discovery something. I don't know. Was
that downtown Disney?
Yeah, they changed the name of it.
Was it not?
It transitioned into a new name.
I hate it when they transition other names.
And we went there, and it was miserable. Like, we were going to eat hot dogs or something, but it was a 3-hour wait, so we left and went to Outback.
For hot dogs?
Yeah, it was stupid.
I guarantee you those hot dogs weren't worth a 3-hour wait.
No, there's no way they were. Then we went to Panda Express one night. They sent us a text letting us know our food was ready. My wife goes in to get it. They don't have any food for us.
Who were they
Nor
texting?
do they have any made. They just cleared their system out.
Oh, nice.
They just completed every order. So we had to go back. Actually went back 2 days later, and they gave us our food then. So thank you, Panda Express. You came through.
It took you 48 hours.
You saved the trip. Went to Panama City, had 2 tornado warnings, a water spout warning we survived through. Me and my wife about drove into a tornado. Luckily, she was paying attention because I wasn't.
Didn't you have some furry friends over at the house at the beach?
Yeah, I'm going to review our Airbnb when we get to our hotel section, or maybe just...
Oh, so you didn't bring the dog with you?
No.
It was a different furry friend?
Yeah, I was using the bathroom, and out of the corner of my eye, I just saw something like move under the door. My initial thought was,
it's a roach.
Somebody just stuck something under the door.
Oh, jeez.
I'm thinking somebody slid something under the door. I don't know. And then I knew what it was, but I didn't want to believe it. And then it crawled across my feet and ran behind the toilet, and then it all clicked like that was a rat or mice, mouse, whatever. It was from the Mickey species. And at that point,
did Ron DeSantis show up to dispose of the rat?
I went through 2 movements, a bowel movement, a physical movement, but I was moving.
You dropped that deuce in record time,
I was on the counter. I don't know what's worse, a mouse or a snake. But I personally don't want either one of them crawling across my foot while I'm in the bathroom.
Well, usually where there's one, there's the other.
Well,
that's their feeding season or feeding food. It's like going to.
I had the door blocked with a pool float, a yoga mat. I had the door blocked with that, and then I had a trash can out of one bathroom, and the rat would come out and I'd drop it, and I missed like 30 times before I finally caught the tip of its tail. So I had its tail pinned down with one trash can, dumped the other trash can out behind me, and used it to catch the mice. Then I slid the can all the way through the condo to the front door.
So did you let him live or did you kill him?
I let him live.
Okay.
I felt bad. Like he looked like a cute little rat or a cute little mice. Had the little button
with
nose.
The plague on its butt.
I didn't touch it. I mean, I cleaned its blood up after I made it bleed. I didn't really.
Oh, it's gonna die.
I didn't really feel bad. I was just mad. I was more mad than anything. Like, I've seen roaches in hotels, but I've never seen a mice. And you know they're there. You're at the beach. They have those sand dune mice out there.
So you're looking for some food, man.
Yeah, I mean, you know they're there, but I've never seen one in all my years. I've never seen one in a hotel room. I've run across them under houses and heating and air, but never in a hotel room. Never had one crawl across my foot. I hope to never have that happen again. You ever had that happen?
No.
Do you know at the laundromat in Florida they serve beer?
That's awesome. Do they serve any Bud Light?
No Bud Light.
No Bud Light.
Dude, I saw so many signs that said no Bud Light for sale. Like at the bars.
Well, you would hate to get the public after your bar because you're selling Bud Light. Plus, you can't sell it anyway.
I saw John Rich from that Big and Rich country group. He has a bar in Nashville called Redneck Riviera. And he no longer has Bud Light at it. And he said, they asked him, well, why don't you sell Bud Light? And he basically said something along the lines of, nobody was buying it. He had to call the distributor and say, I need you to come pick up these 170-something cases of Bud Light. He said in a week, it went from being their number one most popular sold beer to nobody buying it and having to send it back before it went bad.
I guess they're going to have to dump that at Bud, huh? At the distributors.
And they'll let it sit for a little bit longer, and then they'll repackage it as Budweiser. What? You know, after you open it, let it get flatter and a little more bitter, and then they'll repackage it as Budweiser. That's what I think.
Well, you know, I've never noticed. I found one once in my younger days rolling around the back of my car.
Bud Light?
Yeah. I didn't know how long it was there. Months, years. I popped it open, and it still tastes like crap. You would have thought it would have aged and got better.
When I was a beer drinker, like Bud Light was the beer I drank. You go to my parents had a lake house, and you can go see like the different generations of Bud Light cans over the years from when I was first started going down there till whenever I quit drinking and quit going down there. But I liked Bud Light.
We always did the Ying.
We had a Bud Light in Daytona this year. It was horrible.
It was gross.
That's that one beer a year.
It's got rice in it, man.
I used to like a good craft beer. A good, like a Blondie.
I like 420 from Shoulder Creek or whatever it's called, Sweetwater.
Shoulder Creek.
Shoulder Creek. That's our brew. We're gonna start our own brewery. Shoulder Creek. What about some racing?
So how about Corey LaJoy talking crap, saying he manipulated a race, basically is what he said. So he tried to wreck Kyle Busch and missed.
Don't you think, though, because he's an employee of NASCAR,
Yeah, well, I mean,
they're not going to go after him like they went after Hamlin?
Well, Tony Stewart goes and starts the SRX series. NASCAR pulls Eldora. Dale Jr. goes and buys the Cars Tour series. Dirty Mo Media is automatically a target. Denny Hamlin gets hit on a podcast, Dirty Mo Media podcast. Dale Jr. is no longer the golden child of NASCAR. Corey LaJoy is.
Wow. Do you think take him to win something to be the golden child?
Well, I mean, even this morning, I was listening to him on PRN. He's before the Dover race, and he was like, I just want to applaud NASCAR and how well they handled the rain out yesterday, calling the race early.
Because I make more money on my podcast than I do as a driver.
I want to like Corey. And honestly, I like
Corey.
We met Corey. I mean, I get to stand on pit road with Corey.
He's a nice guy.
Super nice guy. But it just...
He's just NASCAR's favorite flavor of the week right now.
And I don't know that that's not a bad move on his part. You either get picked up by a big team or the France family is not a bad family to have backing you. You know what I mean?
No, not at all.
Like, I mean, we can make fun of Corey, which we probably will, because, I mean, that's just what we do, but I don't know that I would.
Who do we not make fun of? You really suck if we don't make fun of you.
We don't make fun of Harrison Burton a lot.
Yeah, but I keep saying he needs to be replaced.
Yeah, that's true. I was going to say Anthony Alfredo, but...
BJ McLeod?
I ain't making fun
We
of
met him. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, he looks like he'll whoop your butt.
He can whoop some ass, let me tell you. He can be in the WWE, man.
He has been my favorite guest in the booth all season, though. When they put him up, he was up there for qualifying was the last weekend. He qualified at Talladega and then went to the booth after he qualified. It's just...
He's a baller, man.
I like him. Alex Bowman's out the next 3 weeks from a wreck in a sprint car.
Did a little flippy, man.
So I'm going to ask the question yet again. Should these drivers be racing in other series other than NASCAR during the season?
We
ain't gonna say racing. This is an extracurricular, extreme sport, whatever you want to call it. It's no different than snowboarding.
No, it's not. And I guarantee you, Rick Hendrick can't do anything with existing contracts, but there's going to be a clause in the next when they renew.
There has to be. There's no way you don't.
It's costing them.
I mean, you've had your
Do you think he takes per race money from each driver that misses so he can pay Barry, or has his budget just increased?
These guys don't get paid if they don't race. That's from my understanding.
So they're able to pay Barry what?
Yeah. Well, Barry's under contract with Rick Hendricks anyway, so I don't think...
what these morons are doing, Barry's going to have a full season without having a full season.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he had 6... This will be 9 races. So what happens from here with Barry?
Junior buys
Do you think Junior should buy into the 1551 team?
I have a feeling that what's going to happen is there's going to be a period where the charter's devalued because there's some unsurety, whether they're going to renew it or not. And during that uncertainty would be the time to jump in and buy a charter, because NASCAR's screwed if they don't just give them the charter flat out. Here's your charter.
Oh, no doubt. But the problem is...
I think it was Denny that said it cost them nothing.
No. But Denny and them are going to be pissed if the charter goes down. Denny, Colleague, they bought up the height.
Well, I think as we get closer and closer to that media contract, broadcast contract, and if they don't settle the charters, people are going to get nervous and the value is just going to go wow. I think Junior can pick one up for 10 to 15 million.
I think they said they'll know
You
the
might as well
future
get two, though, don't you think?
Probably.
I mean, one car team. I mean, he could just buy out BJ McLeod.
I don't think he wants to. I think he needs to go into the Rick Ware. I would like to see him get. I would rather see Junior buy Rick Ware out versus buying out BJ McLeod. BJ McLeod doesn't make a problem on the track. Rick Ware drivers are always a problem on the track.
You know what I think the problem is, though? If you think about it, right? You're sitting there, let's say Talladega. Of course, little Cody wasn't in that. What was the last race he was in?
I just can't place my brain on it.
All right. Well, let's just say you're sitting there. It's a 500 lap race, right?
Weeks ago,
So he's sitting there going, yeah, and he's driving. I mean, you're doing 80 even in your family car, your Suburban. You're driving down, you look sideways. All of a sudden, the trees that were going real slow when you're looking forward are just, right?
Yeah.
So you're aware.
Correct.
Cody, his brother, his daddy, doesn't matter. You're driving past the grandstands. And look, this isn't my opinion. This is just their actions. You see about 30,000 women in the stands, right?
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, we're left-hand drive in America. He cannot reach out the passenger window and swat those women.
That's why he's not in it.
Yeah, because, he doesn't like women. Or he wouldn't be smacking, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Or he'd be smacking them, right?
All this is allegedly.
Well, his brother did the same thing. My guess, allegedly, is they've learned it from someone.
Probably Daddy.
Well,
allegedly.
I mean, allegedly, yeah.
He's got more money than
I don't beat my wife, but my dad didn't beat his either. Isn't that where you learn to be a dad and a spouse?
You learn how to be a father
by not screwing things up.
You just figure
you're going to screw things up anyway. Poor first child of every person that ever had a kid.
I was thinking, like, when the first child, you have, like...
You got a learner's permit, and it's a human being.
You have light socket protectors and door latches, and with the second and third child, it's like, stick the key in it. See, with the twins, there's like, whatever, you're not going to listen to me about the plug. Stick a key in it.
Blow a fuse. Go ahead.
And like,
hope you learned.
Yeah. Luckily for me, with twin girls, if Haley did it and Alexa saw her do it, Alexa learned from Haley.
Would it be just
or if Alexa fell in the lake one time and Haley's like, nope.
It'd be nonverbal twin communication.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like bionic, just...
Yeah, those two.
Don't do it.
Yeah, those two know. All right, we got a new section for the show, Jamie. You want to introduce this section?
Breaking news today on gender bending.
So this came about. Somebody made a comment on Twitter, and I just happened to click on their name. I don't know their name.
You say the names, and I'll give you my definition, not the textbook definition. Yeah. We'll see what I come up with.
So this particular individual on Twitter identified as these three things. And no particular order.
One person had three different things?
Yes. So
wow.
He is
she?
I don't know. He? This individual has demisexuality. So Jamie, without knowing the definition, what is demisexuality?
Well, when I was a youngster, Demi Moore was hot as heck. And
when I Googled it, she was the first thing that popped up was Demi Moore.
That means you want to have sex with Demi Moore. Is that correct?
That is incorrect.
What? It's demisexuality.
And we could be mispronouncing this.
What does Demi look like now? I haven't seen her in like 20 years. Is she still hot?
I think she looks the same, but it's
plastic surgery.
Yes, she's starting to look kind of plasticky, probably.
Okay.
But demisexuality is sexual attraction only to people
that look like Demi Moore,
with whom emotional bonds are formed. So you're only sexually attracted to people with whom you have an emotional bond with.
My wife kind of looks like Demi Moore.
Does your wife have an emotional bond with you?
Well, we have sexuality together.
Sexuality.
Whatever. Whatever it is.
So that's confusing. The next one we're gonna go with agender.
Yeah.
What
We're
is-
all a gender.
What is agender?
Male
Jamie?
and female, a gender.
That is incorrect.
No, it's not.
Agender means not having a gender or a lack of a gender. Agender.
So, hold it. Does that mean if I were to draw with a Sharpie a line from my belly button to my taint, I would hit nothing in between?
I think agender.
There would be no nether region with that Sharpie?
You remember the G.I. Joe dolls?
When you pull down the pants, there's just nothing there. That's
agender.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, that's exactly what I guess.
So it's just
So it's not having a gender or a lack of gender. Agender people see themselves
Are there actually agenders out there?
They see themselves as neither a man nor a woman or as both.
How do you look?
How do you see yourself as neither or as both?
So tonight I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna go home, lock the door to the bathroom, put a mirror on the floor, and bend over and see if I'm a gender.
Are you? Of course you are a gender. You're a man.
What if I don't recognize something?
Male is a gender.
It sounds like
female is also a gender.
It sounds like Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's genders?
Yeah. I forgot what I was. Let me look. Oh, I'm a gender.
The next one is gynosexuality.
Well, that's easy. Gynosexuality. That's easy. That is when you fall in love with your gynecologist.
That's exactly what it is.
Is it?
No.
Oh.
Gynosexuality is...
It is when you fall in love with your gynecologist.
It is a sexual attraction to women, femininity, or females regardless of your gender.
So I'm a what is it? I'm a genius sexuality.
Gina.
I'm a vagina sexuality.
Not Gina. Gyna.
Gynosexuality. I'm gynosexuality. I'm gynosexual.
I have an attraction to a woman.
I do too. It's gynosexual. It sounds like gynosexual, doesn't it? That is just...
It doesn't matter what gender you pick.
All right. You know what? I'm going to go back with go home, pull down your pants, and do a gender inspection.
Look,
you are what's down there.
God created the two genders, man and woman. The leftist created the other.
But hold it. We Googled this last year during our... There's that...
Hermaphrodite.
Hermaphrodite. They're both. A half a nighty-dite. They're both. Isn't that God's creation too? A half a mafia? A half a mafia?
Half a nighty-dite.
So, I mean, that would be... But that's not transgender, having both, is it?
That's half a nighty-dite.
Didn't we find out that one of their organs didn't work when they had both?
One's the dominant.
The dominant. So they're like...
Which one's your dominant? Is that your dominant gender? Because do you still have... If you're a hermaphrodite, do you have both chromosomes? Man and woman?
I'm going to go with yes.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
Do you think we have a physician listener that could call in?
They're making this crap up every day as they go. So why can't we make it up as we go?
Hermiphy was not made up. That's real.
It's not a hermiphy. It's
Well, my nickname is Hermiphy.
Hermiphy?
Hermiphy White.
Hermiphy.
Hermiphy White.
Hermaphrodite.
Yeah.
It's hermaphrodite.
That's it. So...
This is twice now we've had this conversation.
I've never met one.
A hermaphrodite?
No, hermandite. No.
Is that like a Mennonite?
I don't know. I've never been to a Mennonite bar.
Do they have a hermaphrodite bar? Hermaphrodite.
Maybe there's a dating app called We Are Hermes.
Hermes are us.
Wow. So if you, I mean, let's just speculate here, right? You're at the bar, right? You're at Panama City. Isn't there like the State Line bar or something?
Florida Bama.
Florida Bama bar.
Yeah.
So you're in both states, right? And you pick up on Hermie. Are you bisexual? Even though you didn't know they were Hermes.
Not if you didn't know. Well, you're going to know at some point.
I don't know. What if you're a lights off kind of person, not a lights on?
I think you'd feel the extra baggage down there.
They just... I hope not. I wouldn't want to know.
Why is there a gear shifter next to when you reach down and there's a gear shifter next to
Are we playing putt-putt or are we going to play baseball here?
When there's a gear shifter next to the glove box that there's not supposed to be, you're going to know.
Is that synchronized shifting?
What's the... No. It's an H pattern.
Ooh. Wow.
You're going to know immediately, I would hope. Would you say anything?
I mean, I don't have to worry about that because I am in a monogamous relationship.
I'm so happy that I don't have to worry about dating again.
I think if it was like 1990s.
We didn't have these problems back in the 90s, did you?
Well, the Hermes were running around. I don't think there's a lot of Hermes.
No, it's like 0.2%.
Hermenites.
Hermenites.
Weren't they also Templars, the Hermetites?
Templars.
They started masonry too.
From that movie National Treasure?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Hey, they had a Dover race today. Did you watch it?
Yeah, we watched it while we were working.
I'm trying to get us back on racing and off the hermaphrodites.
Well, let's segue
Our
back.
Our next podcast can be
today on NASCAR.
Bending. Hey, we can make our next podcast can be called Hermaphrodite.
I'm going to go back to you be you and don't tell me about it. Does that work?
Don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah, well, don't tell me. You can tell anybody you want. I don't want to know. I'm okay with whatever you're doing. I just don't want to know.
Don't want to know if you're...
I don't care if you're hetero. I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah, I mean, we don't sit around and talk about our sex life.
You wouldn't believe what I did to my wife last night.
I mean, I don't know why. It doesn't matter. I don't know. I'm just hung up on the Hermodites. Or the
Hermodites are crazy.
The Hermodites. That was the Egyptians.
The Hermodites?
Yeah.
Did they build the pyramids? They had special skills because they had both tools.
They had all the chromosomes. They could sympathize and build.
Yeah.
They were organized. They could think.
They could cry and cuddle themselves.
And then build a pyramid.
Wow.
All right, so we haven't recorded in 2 weeks. All right, so don't forget, sometimes crap, it does happen. And sometimes you need a plumber to fix it. In that case, we would call Danny Carden Plumbing, the official plumber of the Race Car Spelled Backwards podcast. The guys you call when crap happens. Congratulations to Kyle Busch and Jeb Burton. They both had wins at Talladega 2 weeks ago. We didn't get to formally congratulate them. Talladega Xfinity race, to me, I thought it was a crap show. Somebody's going to get killed.
Eventually.
I mean, it's inevitable. These guys are idiots when it comes to this kind of racing. I don't think they get enough practice on it a year.
We don't work, and we're not sponsored by NASCAR, which we would be if they'd throw money our way.
Yeah, we would correlate it.
We would enjoy it. Yeah. But since we're not, I'm just going to come out and say it. Unapologetically, the new car sucks.
Yeah, this new car is garbage.
I mean, geez.
I did not. So this is where I struggle at on the new car. And Talladega, for instance, or mainly, I've talked to some people who went to the Talladega race in the fall with us and people who went in the spring just now. And they said the racing was drastically improved over the fall.
Well, I thought it was better on television. Not that I thought the coverage was great. But
Stage 1 was kind of boring. Stage 2 was kind of boring. Stage 3 started off boring, but, you know, last round of pit stops, it was on. I really think we need to get rid of stage breaks and at these super speedways.
Why don't
Then again, if you get rid of stage breaks at super speedways, you're gonna break up the pit cycles, and you're just gonna have 3-packs running around side by side.
Well, this is what I think. Here's a solution. I know Dale Jr. said tires, little grooves in the tires, weaker brakes. Let's give them 30 seconds of boost. Let's do Indy.
Yeah, give them NOS.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, at this point,
here's your boost to pass.
Why
that
not
that would make it super interesting. And then we'd have more things to report on. He's only got 6 seconds of boost left with 2 laps. What will they do? What will Cody Ware do? Let's only give Cody 2 seconds of boost. How will Chastain figure out how to cheat with boost?
I don't think we ever see Cody Ware back in a cup car.
Look, can't they treat it like drugs?
No.
He's addicted to smacking people, allegedly. Females.
Allegedly.
Well,
I mean,
but if he would give up the smacking, and get some counseling on smacking.
I don't think it's the first offense either, so allegedly, I don't know.
Well,
I just don't think we see
his brother never came back, and he was a smacker.
That's what I'm getting at. Like, I just don't see it happening. But Talladega and Daytona to me look exactly the same. It looks like the pace laps
are better,
and it don't even look sped up. It just looks like the pace laps. Like,
well, we slowed the cars down. I really
think it's the broadcast. Like, I really think. Look, the product on track is not great. The product in the booth is not great. So when you take 2 not greats, add them together, that doesn't equal phenomenal.
Well, look at F1.
You take 2 not greats, what do you get? What you got?
Does that 2 negatives make a positive in racing?
No.
No?
No.
I mean, look at F1. It's boring, but they go, oh my God, look back there. He's catching up with him. Yeah. And it's like 12 seconds back.
And nothing is happening.
They're not even seeing each other on the straightaways, but it gets you riled up. You're like, oh my God, I'm missing something.
I just feel like the booth has nothing to talk about, so they're struggling to fill time. If they would describe what was going on the track in an excitable way, it would fill those gaps of downtime. Like today in the Dover race, you had a car spin out. What did Clint say? Well, look at there, a car spun out.
Oh my goodness.
He spun out.
He lost control.
Looks like Joey Logano spun out there.
What'd he do?
Well, I'm glad you told me that, Clint, because I'm sitting here watching it, had no idea what was going on. But I know I'm asking for Clint to describe it, and now I'm giving him crap for describing it. I know that. But it's...
What's the best booth you've seen, though? It's Tony, Mike Joy, and Clint. Best booth this year.
This year?
In my opinion.
Honestly, in my opinion, the best booth this year had Larry Mack in it.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
Larry is an excitable guy, though. He talks with enthusiasm. And Mike Joy does as well, but I feel like Clint brings Mike down. I feel like Clint's just depressed or something. Like, he just has no... He used to be an excitable guy. Now he's just not.
Hey, Mike Joy.
Hey, Joey spun out there.
Hey,
Thanks for stating the obvious. You could have said, looks like Joey got in there a little hot. You know, make it excited.
I'm in the booth here with Mike Joy.
You got Kamala and Mike up there in the
booth. What do you think of the race? What race?
He spun out.
Do you know I can turn my head all the way around on my neck like an owl? Watch this. Wow, Camilla, that's awesome.
Have you ever seen anything like it? It's cowboy.
I'm going to be the first female president.
Hey, here's something I thought was cool. Talladega Spring Race 2023 TV ratings. The race was on Fox and brought in a total of 4.5 million viewers. This is the highest number of viewership since the Daytona 500 that had 8.1 million viewers.
So do you believe in the chase bump?
This is what I think is cool, though. The spring race in 2011 at Talladega had 9.1 million viewers. I don't care about their chase bump. The Daytona 500 had less views this year than the 2011 Talladega spring race at 9.1 million.
Well, you know what's sad?
We should be growing.
They canceled the race yesterday, right?
Yeah.
The NASCAR, the Cup race.
So Dover's results are going to be crappy.
I had plenty of racing to watch that was exciting without NASCAR. It was actually more exciting.
You even had a rain delay
than NASCAR.
You even had a rain delay to contend with during the NHRA 4-Wide Nationals. You right there, Grandpa?
I keep sliding down to get closer to my mic.
Yeah.
Maybe it's...
You knocked your dust cover off.
Oh, my God. It's gynosexuality.
It's your gynosexuality knocked it off?
Yeah, oh, my goodness.
So, yeah, I mean, but why? Why are TV ratings down? Because if you have a crappy product plus a crappy product, you get lower TV ratings. That's what all that adds up to. The only reason ratings now are lower now than they were in 2011 is because the quality on track and in the booth.
Exactly.
But when have you heard Fox or NASCAR take responsibility for anything? Look, the only reason we complain is because we love this sport.
And this package deal for NASCAR, I don't think it's going to be higher this round.
There's no way. If viewership is down 60%, how do you ask? You should be getting 60% less.
I think the true test is going to be viewership at Norks Wilkesboro for the All-Star race. It's going to be exciting. Is it going to be up or down from last year? Of course, it was at Texas last year. It's not a good...
Oh, yeah. You're going to have... I think Wilkesboro will be a good one. I think it'll be a good turnout. I mean, I would say between 3 and 4 million. Talladega is an exciting racetrack. Talladega has a lot of wrecks, a lot of calamity. People tune in for that.
They had cars flying last week.
I know that all NASCAR fans are supposed to say, we don't need cautions and we don't like wrecking. We do need cautions. And I don't think we like seeing people get hurt, but we need a little action on the track.
We don't want to see them get hurt.
You got to have some action on the track. Otherwise, it gets boring. I mean, today we had the Dover race today.
We did. It was all Doverish. I think we're going next year.
Are we? You said that.
I got a lot of friends up there. We can bunk out in their basement or something.
I guess we need to say congratulations to the Truex brothers.
Yeah, they both won.
So, Ryan and Martin Truex both won driving for Joe Gibbs Racing, both driving the number 19 car. That's kind of crazy. At their home track.
Their home track.
In Dover. And they're not from Dover. I don't even think they're from Delaware.
They're from Jersey.
Which I guess they don't have a track there, so this is the closest.
They have a lot of tracks there, just not cup worthy.
They have police officers sitting on the side of the racetracks writing tickets.
Well, they like to hand out tickets like candy, as we experienced.
Yeah.
They like police in New Jersey. They back the blue.
Do they?
I don't know. Did we back the blue when we were in New Jersey? We didn't do anything disgusting to them.
Yeah, and we didn't get any speeding awards either. So
well, we were in a Prius. It's kind of hard to get pulled over in a Prius. I've done it in Barnesville.
Yeah, just in Barnesville.
Twice.
They get you for smuggling.
Yeah, smuggling boogers.
Smuggling environmentally clean cars.
Aluminum cans.
Hey, you're down in Barnesville. Like, people that maybe listen to this show doesn't know anything about Barnesville.
Middle of nowhere.
You know, it's like Mississippi, probably.
You know, Doc Holliday. He's from Barnesville.
I thought he was from Fayetteville.
Well, you know, Fayetteville claims him. Griffin claims him.
We all claim him.
Barnesville's where he was born. Valdosta even claims him because when he was a teenager during the Civil War.
He lived there, too?
He lived there. You know how I know all this?
You're a Doc Holliday historian?
A distant cousin.
Did he steal anything from you?
No, I didn't know.
Does he cook meth?
He's also a distant cousin to the meth cooker.
Is he?
Yeah.
Who's not hanging around right now?
Well, he's in jail.
So if you didn't know this, people,
Yep.
cooking meth can get you put in jail. It's definitely a...
Don't do drugs. At least meth.
And if you're going to cook meth in the New Jersey,
New Jersey too.
in the New Mexico desert, have 2 trailers. One to live in, one to cook
Yeah,
in.
don't cook your meth where you eat. Or shit where you eat. Shit where you meth at. Shouldn't you shit where you meth at? I mean,
I don't know.
They use battery acid in it, according to Superbad. No, it wasn't Superbad. What was it called? Breaking Bad. Superbad was a good movie too. Great show, good movie.
They use all kind of stuff in it. What didn't we have this conversation on one of our shows one time about the difference between meth and crank is the chemical Drano or battery acid, something like that?
Was that it? It's kind of like agender and gynecology, sexuality.
I think
Gynesex.
I think it's called Gynameth.
Gynameth.
That's meth that
Your doctor's
females use.
The female doctor's using.
Yes, it's your female doctor's using it to stay awake
to look at vaginas
all day.
You know what? Even as a male, I probably need meth to look at vaginas all day. You probably get tired of them.
Put it up, Ethel.
Yeah. You think?
Nobody want to see that.
I only want to have patients from the age of 20 to 35.
So Ty Gibbs backed it into the wall today.
Poor little Tiny
Not Ty Gibbs.
Tiny Ty.
Not Tiny Ty. Ty Dillon. Excuse me.
There's both Ties, though.
Well, Ty Gibbs does better than his pit crew, actually. Tiny's Ty, his pit crew came up 7 laps short, getting him
That's because they're hermaphies.
hermaphrodites.
Hermaphrodites.
Herma for pit crew.
On meth.
Hermapits.
You know, Denny Hamlin.
Ty Gibbs finished 13th.
You notice Hamlin can't catch a break? Every time he pits, he loses places. 3, 4.
Well, Hamlin finished 5th.
Yeah, he could have won if he had a better pit crew.
Ty Gibbs would have finished better if he would have had a full tank of gas. I'm impressed by Gibbs, man. I want to talk bad about him. I'm not impressed by Ty Dillon. I mean, look, Quinn Half was...
You sure it's not Huff?
He might have...
He's a huffer?
He's a huffer or a halfer.
Got them whippets out, doing that CO2 cart.
But Quinn, he outdid Buckshot Jones. Like, Buckshot wrecked every weekend. It was just foregone. You knew before the race started.
I think one of his arms cramped on him, and that's why he ran to the wall every weekend.
Buckshot?
Yeah, he didn't drink. He didn't hydrate enough.
Too much alcohol.
Yeah.
Well, then you got Quinn Huff last year, who did the dumbest things I've ever seen a driver do. He was notorious from pitting from the top in front of leaders. But then you got Ty Dillon. It's like he's one-upped it.
No, but we've had this theory. We've exposed our theory. We think his daddy's selling cars, grandfather.
Oh yeah.
To the team, and so that's why Grandpop won't let him race for him. He's selling cars.
And Grandpop's probably dumping money into an offshore private account for Ty to pay him his cut of the car sales, since he's. I mean, if he's living off of purse alone,
got that Panama numbered account.
When you're when you finish dead last every week and you're living off purse money alone, you're not making.
I hope he's.
That's like minimum wage at McDonald's.
What a waste of a charter.
Yeah, why can't Junior
give it
buy
to
that
a racer? Yeah, come on, Junior.
So Ross Chastain gets into Brandon Poole.
Who does he not get into?
Stage 1. Have we seen a driver like this since Dale Earnhardt?
No, but no one's retaliating either. That's what's annoying.
It blows my mind. No, it's like you don't even care.
Corey LaJoie could retaliate.
Brandon Poole gets out and he's like, what he said, somebody needs to kick his butt.
But
Do it.
He must not watch television at all, the races, because no one's kicking his butt.
Denny gets into him and now
he gets fined. Corey could do it.
Corey could.
Corey could do it.
Corey could wreck him, hit him on pit road, probably clip him with his car, turn it into the garage. And NASCAR like, it's just racing.
Next lap, pull out a gun and shoot him. Drive by.
Yeah, that's okay too.
He's an employee.
Yeah, it's okay.
He doesn't get a penalty. He gets the employee discount.
He's got a gun sponsor.
Yep, Smith & Wesson.
So I just think at this point, though, just do it. Like, I'm with Mike Davis or Brett Griffith or all
Stop
those
bitching
guys.
and do it.
Stop saying I'm going to kick his butt and just do it.
Yep, just do it. Who else do we see him run up into? Busch. Was it Kyle Busch?
He was in the area when that wreck happened.
Man.
But I don't know if you put that one on Kyle Busch. I mean, on Chastain.
Well, he ended up taking out Kyle Larson, too.
Yeah. Well, Larson held him up later in the race. So
Well, he should have wrecked him.
Larson pulls up in front of Chastain and holds Chastain up, essentially letting Truex take the lead and go. Then on lap 16, Ty Gibbs pulls up in front of Ross Chastain, holding him up for a brief moment, letting Truex pull farther away. How is that not race manipulation, just like what Denny Hamlin got penalized for?
It is race manipulation, but, he sits there and, I mean, look, for those of you watching, this is what Watermelon Man does. But I didn't see him. I didn't see him.
That's exactly. Ross came over the mic and he's like,
"It's not my fault.
I didn't mean to do that. It's not what I was trying to do. Like, no crap. It's just getting old, man.
I wish Ross would gain a personality. Then I could root for him.
Yeah, I mean, at least get that.
He's a dud, though.
Like, Dale Earnhardt Sr. might have wrecked you just like that. Like, I would compare Ross's driving style to Dale Sr. But Ross doesn't back it up with the cojones when he gets out of the car. Get out of the car. If Ross would have got out of the car at the end of the race and been like, look, Brandon Poole was in my way, I moved him. That's that.
Or, you know what? Wink and said, I had a brake failure.
Yeah.
Wink, though.
Or
let us in on it.
I was just trying to rattle his cage and let him know I was there.
I'm sponsored by a major hospital chain. So
maybe he should go to admin.
The more people I can put in the hospital, the more money we make. And they can sponsor me for another year because I'm Ross Watermelon Chastain. And my brakes failed. Wank, wank.
Well,
whatever.
I'm with you. If Ross,
he came in second, running everybody into the wall.
He just needs a personality. So, all right, Jamie, what are we doing next?
Oh, I think we're gonna. This is our new segment.
Another new segment.
This is gonna be a weekly segment until we run out of things to do.
Tiny's Talk with Big Tony.
Yep. The Adventures of Tiny Ty.
Tiny Ty.
Little Tiny Ty. You ready, Brad?
I'm ready.
I mean, are you ready, Tiny Ty?
I'm ready, Big Tony. Is that how I'm supposed to do it?
Yeah.
Is it like Tiny Ty or like Tiny Tim?
Yeah.
So I need to channel my Tiny Tim.
And play the ukulele?
Play the ukulele?
Yeah.
That was a fiddle.
I don't know.
That
was way before my time. Didn't he bump the Beatles off number one, little Tiny Tim?
Tiny Tim was from the Disney Scrooge movie.
He was also some weirdo with long hair playing his...
I don't know that one.
Let's get in a character. Ready? Yo, Tiny Ty. Did you know you can tell who's running NASCAR by how much clothes management wears? You see?
Do you mean that some NASCAR employees can afford more clothes on and some employees have less on? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that's right. That's what I'm saying.
We don't understand.
See, the ordinary employees, you'd say that the ordinary employees are the less-ons.
So, who's running NASCAR?
Oh, come on, Tiny Ty. It's the morons.
The morons.
That is an ode to the Smother Brothers out in the 60s, man.
It's like the ultimate dad joke.
Yeah.
Morons.
Nice and clean after we went to the Gender Bender segment.
After the Gender Bender, today on Tiny Tim.
On Tiny Ty.
Tiny Ty.
With Big Tony. Big Tony.
The question is, can we do the same exact accents every week?
Ooh, that's going to be tough.
All right, so Twitter says...
What does Twitter say, Brad?
Twitter says a lot of crap. So it was really...
Do you know we don't have a blue check mark?
I'm not paying for it.
We got blue light on our little mics, though. That's the same thing, right?
I'm not paying for a blue check mark.
What does that mean? It's legitimately us?
What,
I mean, we make...
Who was it before?
We make stuff up, so maybe we're not really on Twitter.
I just have no interest in paying for it. Like, I didn't want to pay for it before, and having a blue check mark and not having it didn't affect me before, so why would we do it now?
I didn't know there were blue check marks before.
Yeah, I mean, they made a big deal about nothing, huh?
Yep.
All right, so last week, Jeff Gluck said, was Talladega a good race? Jamie, before we get into what Twitter says real quick, 1 out of 1 to 10, what do you give Talladega?
I give it a 6.
So I was at a 7. It's improved.
It wasn't bad.
I voted yes on Jeff Gluck's poll that it was a good race.
You could have skipped the first 2, as we've already stated, first rounds.
Like I said, a lot of mine was based off of feedback from people who were at the race. So,
what do you think the Demi Moore score would be?
The demisexuality?
You got me all obsessed with Demi Moore, with demisexuality.
I mean, it could be a 1, or it could be a 2, or it could be both and be a 3.
I had a poster of her in a bathing suit when I was a little teenager.
She played in G.I. Jane, too.
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
I think when I was a teenager, I was demisexual.
Were you?
Yeah.
So Jeff Gluck last week said, what's Talladega a good race? At Racing Baguette says...
That's like they're stealing our name.
Am I saying it right?
Baguette?
Baguette?
Baguette, like you buy French bread baguette? Is that what it is?
I'm going to go with Baguette.
Okay, let's go. Like it rhymes with Bugatti. We'll go with that.
Yeah, we'll go with Baguette.
Baguette.
Baguette. He says, I need someone to explain to me why some people think it was a good race. The race was overall boring with a terrible package. The race also ended under yellow, so even the finish doesn't save the race. I don't think the race ended under yellow.
This is Talladega?
Yeah, it was only under yellow for like 20 feet.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So, Racing Baguette? No.
That rhymes with something else.
No.
Maggot.
At the Joe Pritchard, right?
Sure.
I was at the race and it was entertaining. 2 to 3 wide, the whole race. Green flag pit strategy. Position changes were typical of modern day speedway racing, so no surprise there. Sold out my house. Drama and excitement at the end. Great race.
Was he charging a cover charge to get into the house?
I guess sold it out.
Wow. Was he must not have had Bud Light. Unless it had Miller Lite or something.
Probably. Coors. Yingling. At BSMOOVE Trey 5.
Isn't BSM people that smack each other with leather?
Oh, it's B Smooth Trey 5. I get it now.
Okay.
Slept through stage 1.
He didn't miss anything.
It's not racing if the only place you can pass is the pits. We're becoming a broken record with the same issues every week.
Now there's 2,200 passes.
Well, thank you, B Smooth Trey 5.
Wow.
Bob Pockris last week said, wreck on final lap, Bush is winner. Is the winner. I first said Bush is wiener.
He is a wiener.
Matt Action says, hands down the worst weekend of NASCAR racing ever. At the Keegan Hag, Bubba ran out of talent even though he has no talent.
Well, how did he run out of talent then?
Yeah, if you have nothing, how can you run out of something you never had something to begin with?
You know what, though? I think Bubba has talent.
I mean, look, Bubba dropped a very late block, but he took responsibility. He's like, look, I know I do this. I know I did it.
And even though he did it, and he did not run over and smack Kyle Larson around for a little bit.
He should have. Just out of nowhere.
You know, I'm not going to make the comparison, but Cody Ware can smack some woman around and go to jail, and Bubba Wallace
can around and nobody.
We all see it. No one gets charged.
Isn't that kind of crazy?
Maybe
it was hard to find a whole lot of positive things because everybody ragged on Bubba. At Diet Z924, what a piss poor race, man. What a sham. Awesome for Busch. Happy for him. Number 2 on the year. Super cool. Plate racing used to be a spectacle. Now it's just sad.
Oh, it was a spectacle.
Tracks. What the fuck?
What
the fuck happened? I don't understand. That kind of didn't make sense. What the fuck happened? And then he had like a non-smiley face.
How about the next gen car happened, dude?
Exactly. We know. How about at all men dinghy fan? all men have dinghies. It's
Almendinger.
Almendinger fan. Dang Bubbacus. Dang Bubbacus ran out of talent again. He was right a few weeks ago.
Who's Bubbacus?
I have no idea. He was right a few weeks ago. He needs to be replaced. No talent hack. Bubbles is what he was trying to write. But he don't have a blue check mark, so he couldn't edit it. So, Bob Parkus said on Twitter today, Larson appeared to make it tough for Chastain to pass him. Truex leads. At Scott_Ford.
This is on the Dover?
Yeah.
The Dover download?
Yep. So Bob Parker says Larson appears to make it tough for Chastain to pass. We all saw that.
Yeah.
At Scott Ford says, not appeared. 1,000,000,000,000% blocked Chastain and held him up. Love it.
Trillion.
I'm guessing.
Yeah,
it's a one with a bunch of zeros, and I didn't want to just
percentage.
go.
I think a trillion's about right.
At Great Story, Corey. I like his name. Larson just manipulated the race and should be penalized. Chastain didn't even wreck him. That's crazy.
It is crazy that he didn't wreck him. But here's the thing. No. He should not be penalized.
No.
These penalizations suck.
Chastain sent Poole into Larson. So that
was about the most exciting thing that happened other than Logano popping a tire.
That was stage 1.
Yeah.
So, no, don't penalize him. At Jecam Racing, time to put Barry in a full-time cut ride. 23 or 4, or Junior buys the 15 and the 51 team and put him in one of those seats.
That's exactly what we were saying.
I just think it's funny as Jeff Gluck said Larson appeared to make it tough for Chastain, and G. Cham Racing says, time to put Barry in full-time ride. Talk about chasing a squirrel.
That's Tourette syndrome, dude, where you just spout out crap.
Bob Parkhurst also said, Truex wins at Dover.
That's true. I saw it.
At Philly Fan 1K. Hells yes. MTJ. Ross Chastain. What happened?
Well, see, that makes sense because New Jersey is the capital of New Jersey is Philadelphia.
Okay. I don't doubt you.
Okay.
You sure Philadelphia ain't in Pennsylvania?
It's right across the river. It's close enough to New Jersey.
Jeff 58164506.
What the heck is that? His phone number with area code? Holy cow.
I mean, it's Jeff 5, and his phone number is 816-4506. Call that number real quick. See what happens. Truex trying to start his car on fire, so it's harder to be post-race inspectioned.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you do the same?
They used to blow the rear tires out during a burnout so you couldn't see the rear quarter panels flared out. Joe C. 2313.
I think that's Jose. It could be Jose and the Pussycats.
Oh, at Jose. Good catch. At Jose 2313. This car is just plain garbage.
You're correct, Jose.
Every race has been a track position, and you ain't winning.
Correct. At least Jose knows what he's seeing, you know? Jose ain't stupid. Jose, can you see?
All right, Jamie. We're not going to Kansas, but if anybody listening to this show is going to Kansas and hasn't booked their hotels, tell them where they don't want to stay at.
Man, it's getting harder and harder. This is year 2's second. Whew.
Our legal counsel has advised us
He's free, so take him with a grain of salt.
That we might not want to say the name of the hotels so we can't be sued. So it's your call. I mean, you know the guy better than I do.
Maybe we should go until we get sued.
Okay. Man, we got anything? We're going to get my cell phone.
Well, they can call the hotel themselves. Well, actually, you can go to the hotel yourself to see if it's true.
Look, we're reading what other people are saying. So
now I've had to go to TripAdvisor over Google.
Yeah, we've run out.
So if I read it, it's a 1 out of 5 because what's the fun in ragging on a 4 out of 5 or a 5 out of 5?
Yeah, I mean, we like,
or even a 3.8 out of 5.
Like, we like to make fun of Karen and Earl. Earl is a male version, or is a gender version of Karen.
It's not Ken?
No, I like Earl.
All right,
that's what we call people across the street, Karen and Earl.
Well,
we had Karen and Earl in the room above us at our condo in Panama City, or as I called them, Thunderfoot.
You should have thrown the mouse in their condo.
I'm telling you, these people would get up in the morning at like 5:30 in the morning. All you hear was at one point, I swear it sounded like they were rollerblading up there.
You should have gone and got them some nice, comfy shoes.
I told my wife and kids, I said, I bet those people are from Alabama. I said, if I had to guess, they're probably from right around here, the Panhandle of Florida area, part of Alabama too. We looked at their tags, sure enough, that's spot on, from Alabama, and they're one county over the line.
That's just dumb.
It's bad when you can tell by looking at somebody where they're from.
Well, you used to live there, so you've got experience.
Yeah. Like, that's L.A.
It's
Lower
like
Alabama.
Yeah, you find a game trail. You got some city folk come visit me, and they're like, well, let's go down this path. And you're like, that's a game trail. And they're like, let's go down this path. No, it's a game trail. They don't even know what game trail is. Finally, you're like,
games on
that is where the wild animals go.
We want to play games on these trails with you, Jamie. Which trails do we go down for the games?
Right down to the creek with the moccasins.
All right, Mr. Garrison.
See ya. Go swimming down there.
You can go swimming, Mr. Garrison.
Yep. Go right ahead. When that snake's head is full out of the water, try to kiss him on the nose.
Mr. Garrison's rallying tonight.
God. All right, Regency Inn.
Regency.
Kansas City.
Is it Regency in Kansas City or Regency Inn in Kansas City?
I think it's in Kansas City. I don't know if it's Kansas City, Missouri, or Kansas City, Kansas.
Is it Kansas City, Uranus? Or it was Uranus, Missouri?
I've been to Kansas City. There's parts that look like Uranus.
We drove through Kansas on the Cannonball Run for about a quarter mile.
A minute.
There it went.
You know, I counted it up. We did 22 states. Whoa. That's almost half the country, dude.
You could see the welcome to Kansas sign in both directions.
Yeah. You could see the welcome to Oklahoma from the welcome to Kansas sign.
That was insane. Like, hey, we're in Kansas.
Why would you even bother to put a sign up?
I don't know.
Because you're Kansas?
Because the state is paying for it. They've already taken the money and set it aside, and they've pulled off their cut of it. So why
they're charging their residents taxes, those butts.
Well, the senator of Kansas, his cousin, probably owns the road construction crew company that installs those signs, and he's charging them $15 billion a sign. So
that's because he gives money to the governor's re-election campaign.
He does, and it's his nephew. They're all related.
They are.
All right.
Kansas is just Alabama where there's no trees.
That's right. Windy with no trees.
So anyway, Kansas won. That's his name. OMG is what? Well, I don't even know what gender bender they are.
OMG. They're the OMG gender
There was a band called Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark.
What's OMG stand for?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. Should I do it in my oh my goodness voice? Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Public beware.
Beware.
Oh, this so-called motel is nothing more than a flop place for druggies.
Druggies.
Flop place.
Flop place.
What is a flop place?
That's where you.
That's where you need Viagra? Because you're flopping around?
When you pull old floppy out.
There was this one druggie. Look, they spelled druggie. Well, it could be right. I'm not the right person to tell you.
I like how
they got druggie spelled D-R-U-G-G-I-E-S, and the next one's D-R-U-G-Y.
They got lazy.
There was one.
They got high, and that's as far as they got.
There was this one druggie just standing in the parking lot with his privates out.
See, that's the flop place right there.
Yeah, he's flopping.
Now you understand why the druggie flop out.
He was holding himself saying, "This is my hammer. You want my hammer to smash it up?"
Oh, floppy.
Sound like Forrest Gump there. This is me hammer. Me hammer gonna smash it up.
Mama always said, "This is my hammer."
Mama always said,
I can smash it up.
Be careful where you put your hammer.
Life is like a hammer.
The rooms were very nasty. Bed bugs everywhere and smelled terrible. Did they smell the bed bugs?
I've never had a stinky bed bug.
I've never gotten close enough to smell one.
I've never had a bed bug as far as, and I had a mouse run across my foot when I was on the toilet. But
the bed looked like my 600-pound life used it for toilet paper. Big brown stripe right down the middle with Twinkie wrappers laying around it.
What is a Twinkin?
Twinkie wrapper. You know that cream-filled cake that'll never rot?
Had those twerkies twerking on the bed, left a brown stain.
Maybe the bed was an altar for obese devil worshippers.
Maybe.
It was so bad that we only looked in long enough for a phone book to call another motel. Do you have a feeling they're AARP members because they're looking for phone books? They never heard of the Google? I never heard of the Google. Hotels.com.
I'm just trying to think of another word for skid mark. Brown stripe. What else is there?
These people are old, dude.
What other words?
This is Joe Biden and Jill doing cross country.
I'm asking for my knowledge purposes. What other words could you use for skid mark?
Skid mark is good.
Drag strip?
Yeah, a butthole drag strip.
Oh, a slug trail?
What about when dogs do that funny thing where they drop their ass and drag it with their front feet? Maybe it was a dog doing that.
Maybe it was a 600-pound dog.
Yeah.
Maybe it was an elephant. We've never had an elephant.
But thank God we got that phone book in there.
Thank God they got a phone book.
Hey, will you look up motels there, honey?
All we got in
OMG?
A phone book and a Bible. We're either going to the manger or we're going to the 7-Eleven.
You know what? If it's a good hotel, you get the Book of Mormon. That's the Marriott's.
I've never. Is it really?
Yeah, they put the Book of Mormon in there.
We stay at the Hilton. They have the Gideon Bible, so it's King James.
Yeah, the
King James.
Marriott has the Book of Mormon.
King James, the language Jesus spoke.
That's what Chris says. Our coworker.
Just call him out.
I think they spoke
you want to call him out language. By name, like last name and all?
I just did,
you want to give him his address?
Chris H.
Our coworker.
He only reads the King James Bible.
Well,
version 0.6.
Now thou knows that thy Chris H.
I want Chris to give us I want Chris to give us a hotel view of a crappy review of a crappy hotel he went to.
In King James.
Yeah, we're gonna see him Thursday. Into the King James
Southeast.
Yeah, Monty Python language of King James.
Oh, that would be funny.
I'll record him.
Yeah,
we're gonna see him Thursday.
We'll ask him. There's food, so you know he'll be there.
Yeah. He'll show up for a hamburger and a hot dog.
You want to finish Wichita?
Oh, yeah, Wichita. Well, no, it's Kansas City.
Oh.
I only wish I had read the reviews before I booked it. Well, they don't put reviews in the phone book.
You always say that. And if you would just become a listener of the race car spellback,
though. We said
race car spellback, we did it
the Beach House Inn. We're like, geez, wish we would have read the reviews.
We read those reviews. We just didn't want to believe them.
Taught me a lesson very quick. Very bad part of it. Doesn't tell us what lesson it taught him. Very bad part of town. Riff-raff people all around. Riff-raff. This part, they're old, dude. He's going riff-raff. He was druggies. Got the phone book.
Spelled druggies 2 different ways.
Matter of fact, one of their so-called quest. What is a so-called quest?
A woman.
Oh, yeah, a woman. got beat up. Cody was allegedly in Kansas City.
This is during
Got beat up by some man in the parking lot while we search for another hotel. I told the guy to stop hitting her, but he looked at me and screams, "You want a piece of me?" Thank God we had too good sense to leave as quickly as we could. I did a burnout when leaving to distract the beater. What the heck, dude? Oh, yeah, that worked. I won the race. Stop beating, beater.
Man, we went from skid marks.
That was a whole bunch of crazy there.
To holding his hammer, old floppy hammer.
I think old floppy there is a name he used, a metaphor name for Jill and Joe Biden.
Slug trail in the
parking lot, and he hit her.
No, I don't. All right, where we're going?
So all Sparky, he wrote about Super 8 Wyndham. He titled it "Disappointed."
I think that just goes along with the whole Wyndham.
Well, their La Quinta wasn't that bad.
No, La Quinta is not bad.
But I think that's a new brand that they bought out, so most of the hotels aren't older than 5 years.
Oh, okay.
That's my assumption, though.
So he is disappointed before we even get there.
He goes disappointed, but then he goes, nice at first.
That's how it always happens.
Then as I go to get into the bed, there are 3 beds on the pillow having a sex show.
What?
Bed bugs
are small. And I don't think bed bugs fornicate.
How do you know what bed bugs having fornication looks like?
How do I know? I watch Discovery Channel. And I said I don't think they fornicate.
Okay.
I don't think they have like bed bug foreplay.
Look what he says next.
I'm a demi bed bug.
At first, it was kind of cool, but then I started thinking, is it 2 guys, 1 girl?
How does he know?
Or is it 2 guys, 1 girl? Or 2 girls and 1 guy? Or is it 3 girls? Or is it 3 guys? Who would have thought I'd get so confused over bed bug gender? Well, I don't know. How do you
as we discussed earlier,
I didn't even know that segment was coming up and found this. There are more crawling on the other side where the new ones come in to watch or to participate. I was thinking of getting a miniature pineapple sticker and putting it upside down in the room window so the other bed bugs would know what's up. Told the desk about it, and against my better judgment, agreed to move up a room on the other side of the hotel. Woke up the next morning with a dozen or more bed bug bites on my forearms and ankles. I should have got those pineapple stickers so the ones in the new room would have left. One room is forgivable, as bed bugs are a problem even in upscale hotels, but to have them in another room on the other side as well is an infestation. I should have asked for a refund, but I just won't come back and leave it at that. I was hooking up with a hot...
How do we know? I mean, this dude knows way too much about the pineapple stickers, first of all.
Yeah, I think
that tells me he partakes.
I think he's involved. Because
I think he's using the bed bugs as not an analogy. What's it? What am I looking for here?
An analogy?
Whatever.
An acknowledgement? Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
I was hooking up with a hottie from our time, and she saw that room and said no.
What is our time?
I was telling you about it earlier, wasn't I, in the show? Old people dating site.
No, that wasn't during
I saw an ad.
That's the one you were talking about before the show.
On TV.
Is that the one Natalie Decker's on? Our time?
No, our times are like 65 and old. Joe Biden
so
and Jill.
Her grandmother's probably on that one.
Yeah, Joe Biden and Jill were on that.
Well, Mrs. Decker might be on there.
But she said no when she saw the room. She said no. I said, honey, I know no means no, but I drove 18 hours for this. Oh, my God. What did he do? Oh, my God. What is he, a rapist?
18 hours for this.
I got the blue bee syndrome.
He had the blue balls.
At least he didn't say it. and may suffer blockage if this don't go down. What did he pull out his wiener? It's hard. It needs to go down.
Look at the bed bugs.
She said she was talking about the room, not me. We went to the W Hotel, and damn, I'd hate to see that room under a black light after we got done. What? Got a booty call and my AARP discount at the W.
Say what?
Why did I think this Super 8 was going to get me laid?
He brought a hooker.
All right, moron.
He brought a hooker.
The Super 8
to the
window ain't going to get you.
8. Then he
No,
took her
I don't
to
think
the
it's a hooker. I think it's a farmer lady from Kansas, a widower.
Is a hottie from
I'm
our
making
town, so we know she's 65.
I'm just drawing a line here. I'm just thinking it's a hottie, widowed farmer lady from the middle of Kansas.
I think. What was this guy's name?
He had Sparky 138.
I think Sparky. This is what I think. I don't think this is a hotel review whatsoever.
It's a review of a woman?
I think Sparky went to the old folks' home
and hallucinated.
And those weren't bed bugs having sex in those rooms. They were elderly people.
That's where all the STDs come from.
That's what I'm saying. So
they're like rabbits in the old.
He knew way too much about the pineapple stickers.
Well, he was a pineappler.
Yes.
Back in the day.
And he brought, not back in the day. I think
like yesterday?
Sparky.
Today he's a pineappler.
Yeah, Sparky 321 is definitely still into the pineapple business.
I like pineapple things.
But you wouldn't put a sticker.
But the stand-up pineapple?
You told us on
that means
show.
welcome. That means welcome. And upside down means you're a swinger.
Upright means welcome, and upside down means you're welcome.
Yeah, you're really welcome. Like, drop your clothes.
Very welcoming. We are a welcoming family.
Like, drop trowel and open those Bombay doors, honey.
This dude's old.
He is. He's a geezer.
All right, where are we going next?
All right. Last but not least, this is the Super 6.
Wow.
A horrible experience.
Horrible.
I Holton 1 said it. Horrible experience. Horrible. So we arrived on a Friday night.
Sounds like a country song.
When getting off the elevator on the third floor,
on a Friday
I noticed stains on the rug, I think.
You think? Were they like skid stains?
I think much about... Oh, he says, I think much about it.
Oh.
What, does he ponder in that stain?
I'm
spent
here.
all day just pondering.
I'm still standing here at my hotel door.
I'm pondering that stain there.
Thinking much about this
Oh,
stain.
my goodness, that stain. I'm pondering.
These stains.
On Sunday, at the race. It's race-related.
He was getting a massage.
Race relations. We get a message that we may be charged a cleaning fee for stains in front of our room door. When we arrived back at the hotel, we asked to speak with the manager that called us. He was unavailable. We asked the front desk person. Isn't that a clerk?
Maybe.
All right.
Maybe it's Big Bertha from the Super 8.
To walk with us. It was pointed out that the footprints were obviously made from a boot print, not a tennis shoe, which we were both wearing. We asked the employee in our room and showed her all our shoe treads, which did not match what was on the rug.
This dude's mad over
I also found a red unk stain. What is an unk stain? Unk. Next to our end table and called to report that so not to get charged G.
I was taking an unk.
To get charged G or that as well. What? They called and said it was a previous guest. Didn't offer any discounts, though, for ruining our vacation.
A pile of doo-doo ruined your vacation?
Can you say don't stay here even if it's convenient? Stay at the Holiday Inn across the street.
Holiday Inn.
They also said the pool was open, but they didn't have the pump going. Any dummy knows you mind the pump to clean the water. What? Mind? Like he's looking for gold in a pit. Like a miner.
I have no idea what he means here.
Especially during COVID.
Yeah, I mean, during COVID, you had to up the minings on those water pumps. Because, I mean, I think the first thing they said is COVID.
Go see if your gold's pure at the Ace Sayers office.
Well, I think what they said, Jamie, is water gets rid of COVID.
Yeah, could be. I don't know.
But if your pump ain't working and you don't go to the Holiday Inn Express and you choose to go to the Motel 6.
Is their pump working?
Well, if the pump ain't working at the Motel 6 and you don't want to get the COVID in the swimming pool, you just wear a mask in the pool.
I may need to contact an attorney.
If you got the COVID from the swimming pool, you definitely need to contact them right now.
I think we should be compensated for the stress it caused us during our vacation and the race. We left the race early because we were stressed out. If anything, they owe us an apology.
This is Karen or Earl on steroids. And I think what really should happen to this guy is he should be taken out in the parking lot at the NASCAR race and kicked in the nuts repeatedly over and over.
But because you can't, come on.
He left the flipping race because he was stressed out over a stain in his hotel room.
Yeah, he did. He admits
we were willing to stay in a stain of a hotel room because we were going to the race.
It was almost called the stain drop in.
It
was nasty.
They had skid marks starting in the parking lot.
There was skeeter stains on the walls.
They didn't even have doors.
They had a free homeless whore out the window. Smoking crack under our window where we said, "What's that smell?" And we're like, "I don't know." We looked out the kitchen window and looked down. I was like, "It's in a glass pipe." And Brad said, "Well, it's probably crack or meth then."
So, we didn't get an apology. We didn't get a refund.
Oh, that muscle-bound, skinny, anorexic lady with her lifting gloves on. Ooh.
Jill
Biden.
Not Biden.
Oh, she had that.
That was before marriage.
Machine gun cracker motorcycle locked into her side of the check-in room.
She parked her car inside.
She was the definition of a cracker.
She was the definition of a murderer. I guarantee
a mass murderer. Like one day, we're going to see she ran out with an AR-15 and just mowed down people in the parking lot.
My homeboy here is trying to get an attorney because he had a doo-doo stain on the carpet.
But it doesn't...
He left the race early because of that doo-doo stain. He deserves to be kicked in the nuts by all 32,000 people who are at that race.
What would you,
over and over?
What would your response be, Brad, if the hotel calls there? Hey, Mr. Brad, we're gonna have to charge you a few $100 to get that carpet clean in front of your room in the hallway.
I'm on the way.
Oh, I wouldn't be on the way. I would have said, really, you gonna charge me for that? Because everybody walks down the hallway, Mr. Butthole.
They weren't going to charge him for that anyway. And I have no problem with him notifying the front desk of a doo-doo stain. It's the fact that he left the race early.
Unk stain, whatever unk is.
Some people take
I Googled it, and it didn't say it came up with nothing.
Maybe.
He made it up.
Maybe an unk is what a hermaphrodite takes.
Or a agender?
Any gender, I guess. Or agender. Which one you want to go to?
Agender is kind of weird to me. If you can go from your belly button to your butthole and there's nothing there.
It's like a Ken doll.
Oh, yeah, right. Ken doll. G.I. Joe.
Shouldn't you just call it G.I. gender then?
Yeah, call it doll gender.
Joe gender. The dumbest
doll gender.
Joe gender, the dumbest gender around.
That's who they should have for Bud Light.
Joe Biden?
The A-bender.
Joe Biden?
A-binder? What is it? A-gender, not A-bender. Because
have a bender with a gender.
It's neither or it's all.
That's what I don't know.
It's very inclusive.
You can be nothing or you can be everything.
Right.
Or you can be one or the other.
I don't like Bud Light anyway. I couldn't. Here's the problem with the Bud Light protest. I couldn't participate because I didn't like it from the beginning.
Well, couldn't you be Bogender?
Bogender. Didn't he play football for Auburn? He was also a two-sport team with Kansas City and the Raiders. Bogender?
No.
That's Bojangles.
That's the chicken place.
Oh.
Mr. Bojangles.
Well, he was...
Bogender would mean...
What was that guy's name? He was big, man.
Bo Jackson.
Oh, that's him. He was a badass.
Yeah. He was like the Herschel Walker of Alabama.
Except he played two sports. Well, he could have been a Hall of Famer if he didn't get injured.
Played 2 sports too.
He ain't Hall of Famer.
College football and NFL.
I think Bo Jackson should go to the Hall of Fame.
And he tried to run for senator.
I thought it was president.
Bo Jackson.
Bojangle.
Bojangle, he is president. Mr. Bojangles.
Yeah, he married Jill.
Yeah, Jill Jangles.
Boj.
Boj.
Blowj. Or whatever. BJ? Biden Joe?
Biden Joe. Joe Biden. JB.
Yeah, he's a BJ. Backwards. if you have issues like me, where letters get reversed, dyslexia, he'd be BJ.
He's JFB.
Yeah.
BFJ.
BFJ. Big freaking
jerk.
Joe man.
Jerk.
Joe Bender. Joe Bender. He's a Joe Bender.
All
right. That's it for the hotels, guys.
Kansas City is Kansas is our next race. It's at 3:00 on FX1.
Or is it?
Or is it Monday? I didn't even say a day.
It could be Monday.
But it's on Sunday. It's going to be on MRN. It's a 1.5-mile oval. Out of the last 6 races, Jamie, Truex has a 6.0 average finish with 6 top 10s.
Think he could do a twofer?
No.
You don't think so?
No, he barely did a one-fer.
He did a one-fer today.
Took him 2 years to do a one-fer. It's going to do another 2 years before he does a twofer.
Think he'll retire this year since he won one?
Probably.
He probably should have retired right after he won.
Probably.
Just embarrassing himself.
Denny Hamlin has an average finish of 6.5, 4 top 10s, and 1 win out of the last 6 races.
Denny needs a pit crew if he thinks he's going to win.
Kyle Larson's stats are out of the last 4 races because he missed 2 races. Larson has an average finish of 7.5, 3 top 10s, and 1 win. Byron has an average finish of 9.2, 5 top 10s. Harvick's average finish here is 10.3 with 4 top 10s.
Think Harvick's going to win one before the year's up?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I think he'll win too.
Wow. Big prediction.
Chastain has an average finish of 10.3, 2 top 10s. That's out of 4 races for him as well. Elliott has an average finish of 10.8 with 3 top 10s. Keselowski, 10.8 average finish, 3 top 10s. Kyle Busch, 12.3 average finish, 3 top 10s, and 1 win. And Christopher Bell's average finish is 12.8 with 3 top 10s. Remember, that's out of the last 6 races. Our fantasy. Wow.
Where are we at, dude?
So, after Talladega, Jamie lost at Talladega. I won. I had 47 points. He had 76 points.
Yeah, I got murdered.
Yesterday, I posted our drivers that we picked. I had Byron, Hamlin, Larson. Jamie had Bell, Elliott, and Chastain. Jamie won this week with 19 points. I had 41 points. That means I picked first. Wow.
You're still ahead, though, total, aren't you?
Total points.
Talladega killed me.
I have total 519. You have 551. Yeah, you had 76 points.
I need like 3 good weeks in a row. Jeez.
Well, you cut a big chunk out of it this week. That's a 20-point swing difference. So this week definitely helped. So out of the top 10 drivers, let's say we're going. I will go
there's a lot of good ones in the top 10 from today's race.
Yeah, I know. I'm not even prepared for this. Who did I say? Chastain.
See, Brad was driving the Wyndham board.
Yeah, poor guy. That's why I was hurting him. Wyndham rewards. I didn't even know they had a rewards program.
Well, I wouldn't join.
All right, I'm going to go with Denny.
Good choice.
I will go with my second pick from 11 to 20. I'll go with Chase Elliott.
Good pick.
I almost went with Gibbs, to be honest with you.
Little tie.
Yep.
Little tie.
And 21st to 36. Gonna go with Kyle Busch.
Oh, Kyle Busch.
Yep.
All right.
Who you got?
I'm going to say Martin Truex is going to double up. Twofer. Right. Then I'm going to go. Kevin Harvick.
Yeah, I went with Elliott.
Now the bottom turds.
Dang. I left it. Well, I left you some good ones.
I'm going with Joey.
All right.
Last time I went with Joey, I paid for it.
I left Larson on there because Larson, every time I go with Larson, he kills me. If I don't go with him, he wins. So I left him on there.
He's either winning or wrecking. I think he needs 3 more wrecks before he gets another win.
There's no in between with him.
No, he's winning or wrecking.
All right. Well, guys, we thank everybody for watching. You got anything else this week, Jamie?
Next week, you're on business trip, so we're going to Zoom it.
Yeah, we'll do it. We're still going to do the show next week. I'll be in Tampa for a meeting. We're in heating and air, so as the weather gets warmer,
we have more meetings.
We have more meetings and trainings that we have to do. So I'll be in Tampa for that. Jamie won't be, so we'll record on Zoom. All right, you got?
We also have a meeting in Atlanta the same day.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
2 meetings in Atlanta the same day. No, a conference call.
We have a Zoom
and
call,
a meeting,
an in-person meeting,
and
in Tampa.
99% of our staff will be in Tampa. Maybe the meeting's in Tampa and I'm out.
You're the only one not going?
Yeah, I think so.
You have to go to Marietta and sit by yourself. I'll FaceTime you.
Okay.
That way you don't feel left out.
We'll get management on board too. I won't say their names.
I'll gladly let you go in my place. I got a lot of crap to get done for being on
vacation. Maybe it'll be me and management. Just me and management.
Yeah. Great.
Well, that could be dangerous.
It could be really dangerous.
My brain pops off all the time. Or it could be very funny. It depends on how they take me.
I think this
one-on-one for an hour and a half.
Whew.
I know. I start getting loony.
Yeah.
It'd be a good show, I think.
Be a good podcast.
Yeah, maybe I'll get one of them to film it.
Be your last day at work and a good podcast.
Well, it depends on how they take my jokes.
True. I think they'll take them the right way. Depends on which.
Well, when we worked before, I had a boss that got it, but he got pissed off about it, even though he got it.
Oh.
He thought it was funny personally.
Yeah.
And then the boss after him, he didn't have the mentality.
He didn't get it.
He didn't have the. He just couldn't. Yeah, he didn't understand.
Just didn't get it.
No. But, Forrest Gump looked intelligent to him.
Yeah, I mean.
He was our Forrest Gump manager.
Not everybody's elevator goes to the top floor,
I think his stopped at his nipples.
Well, I mean, you could have just said third floor,
But he was a nice guy, one-on-one, but there was nothing there past the eyes. Did you notice that?
It was
like you could see the wheels moving.
And you knew there was really no thought active.
And with my OCD,
he's just like,
and my ADHD,
what do you say?
He just couldn't keep up. It'd be like I'd be on the next conversation, and he'd be still finishing the introduction.
Yeah, buddy. That's all I got.
That's it, man. We're done.
That's it. We're done.
Put it in the box. Wrap it up. Send it to.
Put it back in your box.
Return it to Amazon.
Put it back. Put your box back in.
Say you are unsatisfied with your purchase and put race car spell backwards.
Put your gender and your pronouns back in the box. Send them back.
Send them an agender.
We're all a gender.
A nonadite.
No, not.
Well, if you're some kind of dite and you're harmydite and you got both, then if you're not a dite, you got nothing.
If you're not a dite,
you're not a dite.
If you're not a dite, you're not a dite.
That's not dyke. We're not making fun of that. We're dites.
I didn't say dyke. I said dite.
That is D-I-T-E.
Yeah, if you're not on a dite.
I don't even know if that's right scientifically.
Hermidite.
That's kind of like light Bud Light night.
Buddite.
Buddite. If you're Buddite.
Hermabud.
If you're Buddite.
Her and Bud.
Her Bud.
Her Bud.
Huh.
Hey, you never know.
All right, that was a weird rabbit hole we went down.
Thanks to everyone who listens, watches the show, shares on social media each week. Thanks to everyone who follows us on Twitter. We're at Car Backwards. I can't do it.
Just we're there. We're there. We're at the backwards. We're backwards.
Oh, make sure you check us out and rate us.
check out our genders on Twitter.
You close the show. I can't do it.
If you like Twitter and you got internet access, unlike the guy that had to pull out the yellow pages to find his hotel, you can find us on Twitter at racecarbackwards.com.
You know what our website is?
Racebackwards.com.
What about our email address?
I don't know that.
Racecarbackwardspod@gmail.com.
Pod?
Pod, P-O-D. If you have any problems,
Like that storage place, they'll come pick up the pod?
That's pods with an S. We're pod.
Okay.
We're pod with the D.
Why would you put a Z on your pods?
If you get a zit on your pods, you just pop it.
Unless you're agender, you just got...
You have no pods to pop.
Agender's like the prairie and the panhandle of Texas, dude.
The gender part is going to be a new segment in every show. Jamie's going to explain.
Any new gender.
Any new... we can go for like years. We have so many genders now.
Next week, I'm going to create a new gender.
I already did. It's Bojender.
And you did this week. Next week, I get to do a gender.
Okay.
Like a little Debbie gender or something.
Do a little gender?
A little gender. Tiny tot.
Tiny tot. All right, so make sure you subscribe to our channel on YouTube and check out our videos, the Conspiracy Juice Bar, our shorts, check out all that. Check us out on Spotify and rate us. Subscribe to the show.
Next week, we're sponsored by Pornhub. As we join us on this journey as we discover new genders.
Oh, man.
That's our new podcast.
This has been the biggest shit show of an episode at the end here. I'm crying here. If you're not watching, you can't see I'm like crying. I'm laughing so hard. So thanks for everybody who listens. We greatly appreciate it. Y'all have a great week. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Have fun, everyone. We'll see you next week.
You just listened to Race Car spelled backwards. For that, we thank you.